Okay, welcome. Listen, guys, I'll get to all of the stuff afterwards if you want to have a chit chat with me. If you're here for what's going on in the sky for the weekend, I'm going to do that first, and then I will go through why I'm doing it this way today only. Okay, so Friday is a 31 energy, so that's about playing nice with others. It's about bringing your best to the table, but allowing other people to bring their best to the table as well. If you do the numerology of Friday, it would be a 3 plus a 4 plus a 7, which is a 14 energy. It's having more by having less. So, what do you have too much of? It's time to slim it down. It's also a time when, because it is related with the blacksmith, the 14 energy, it's a time to forge yourself, to strengthen yourself, to twist yourself in ways that you never were twisted before, right? And bend yourself in ways that you've never bent before. And not literally, but, going forward in your path, trying new things, experiencing life, seeing all life has to offer you. How much joy and love there is truly in the world when you start opening up to it. At times you may not feel it, but it's always there, it's always present. 1 plus 4 is a 5. We are doing these things to make us happier, to giggle, to laugh, to find joy, to allow our creativity to flow. The moon will trine the sun on that kind on Friday, so we're free spirited, but we're very cooperative. We're playful. We're expressive. Venus and Mars are going to get together. I think kind of in between Friday and Saturday. So, what it'll do is it'll spotlight where we do things differently as in a relationship. You may do it your way and I may do it mine. And normally we can just go on and nothing really happens, but it'll cause a strain in the dynamics of the relationship and you may have to work towards it. Just be careful you're not trying to stir the pot or, watch your impulsivity too. You just don't want to be very impulsive because that will start the the angry conversation rather than seeing it and saying, "Hey, I think we need to talk about this." On Saturday, it's the 1st of April. And I don't know if everything works out really, really well. I may be able to get the monthlies up for you. But my suggestion is to go and watch a quick glance at April because it is such a potent energy that we are walking away from and walking into. Okay, it starts the solar eclipse season. Mercury's going to be going retrograde, but it's very beneficial to us in many ways, but it'll also wreak havoc like it usually does. So I'm still hoping that I'm going to have time for this. Okay, I'm not really sure because most of the videos are at least 20 minutes in length. And I sit here and I meditate for probably 5 to 10 minutes on each sign before I would do a reading of any kind. So it does take a long time to get 12 signs up and uploaded and to you. So I don't know if I'll have time. I'm going to try my very best though. I promise. If not, at least go to that. Okay? Please just go to that. And I think I said to everybody, I said in the middle of February, I said, you watch. We'll get to like the end of March and we'll be going like, what happened to the month and why do I have all this to do? And right now I'm sitting here and I'm going, why do I have all this to do? Like I should watch my own videos more often is what I should do. April the 1st, the one energy, the pioneer, the trailblazer, the I am energy, the young energy that will face a challenge, and we actually would look forward to challenges under a one energy to have the successes. And if we look at the numerology of the day, now we go a 4 plus a 1 plus a 7, which would be a 12, which is the hangman, about pulling it back a little bit, thinking about our plans, like the carpenter, measure twice, cut once. So we want to make sure that each step is the right step. So we need to pull it back and think things through. And what is stopping us from moving forward in the way we want? what is holding us back in some way. It may be an obligation, it may be a commitment, it may be other factors completely. So look and see what is actually holding you back, what is pulling you back, what is not allowing you to go forward in the way you want. Under a 12 energy, always. 1 plus 2 is a 3, so we're doing this because we want to plant the seeds for our new beginnings, the new starts, the new adventures, the new opportunities. We want to transform a part of our life or perhaps transform ourselves. The sun is in Aries. Sunday. We better talk about Sunday, right? Sunday for numerology is the 2nd. So that is contemplating the magic that you have within you, bringing it out, celebrating the unique you. The 2 energy is about perhaps not making a decision, but weighing out where a decision needs to be made and putting your focus at least on the decision that needs to be made. If we do the numerology of the day for Sunday, it would be a 4 plus a 2 plus a 7, which is a 13 energy. 13 energy brings in something into your life, which is actually good luck. It may not seem like good luck when it happens, but it's actually good luck. And 1 plus 3 is a 4. So we're doing that to build our security, to feel our confidence. Sun is in Aries for the whole weekend. Moon is in Leo on Friday. Moon is in Leo on Saturday. So that's fire energy. Get creative, enjoy yourself, laugh, giggle, bring in the joy, bring in the love. Get creative, absolutely. Add a little spice of romance to your life. And you say, Tilly, I'm completely single. We'll have a bubble bath with a bottle of wine and some candles around you, and maybe listen to a podcast that you like, or me in the background. And then on Sunday morning, the moon will move into Virgo, which will make us want to get things in order. And moon in Virgo is wonderful because the moon in Virgo will understand what has value and what doesn't. So where we've been pulled, where we really don't understand, where we've been being pulled back or what's been standing in our way, the moon going into Virgo may help you with the clarity, with the understanding, with the knowledge you need. The moon will trine the sun, so we will be very playful and happy. Venus and Mars, I think I started talking about this, didn't I? I'm all over the place because I'm thinking of all the things I have to do while I'm thinking of talking to you for a few moments, because I was feeling so guilty. I thought, well, it's getting too late. I know, like, this is the uncut Tilly. If you ever wondered what Tilly looks like when she's scrubbing walls and I didn't take the time to do anything here. I just jumped in front of the camera, and this is how I look. So I'm sure when you watch me every day, you don't have your hair done and your makeup done if you wear makeup, or, so, give me a break here. I'm doing my very best right now for you. And I thought, we're family, right? I can show up in my PJs if I wanted to, right? I won't, I promise. Cross my heart. I won't do that. Okay, Mercury and Neptune will be talking together. So imaginative energy, creative energy, very spiritual energy. And the Sun and Pluto are going to be talking in the sky. And so that allows us to want to do the work, want to meet the challenge, want to, So if you have something that's a little harder task that you've been putting off, okay, throughout the weekend, you may want to tackle it. And Venus and Jupiter are talking together, and that's all about bringing in love, harmony, money, happiness. And we feel more beautiful on the inside, and we feel like we look more beautiful on the outside. And so it's a perfect time to socialize and meet new people and maybe a new best friend along the way. So that is, you want to pick one card, you say? Okay, we'll pick one card. I didn't even put the energy into this card, but I did clear them, so we don't have to go through that. I'll pick one card. And then I'll tell you the why for anybody who wants to hear. I'll share myself. Ooh, let's find out what the shadow energy is, okay? That'll be the card. The shadow energy, look at this. We have the Queen of Wands as our shadow energy. Now, the Queen of Wands, she can be a little impulsive, but she's never impulsive to the point where she doesn't know where she's stepping. So that is a lot of the Venus-Mars energy that we are going to be having throughout the weekend, isn't it? So she's kind of like the judge and the jury. She asks the questions, she gathers the information, and then she'll ask herself, is this worth taking a risk on? And if the answer is yes, she doesn't wait for all the pieces to fit into place. She's off, she's running. She knows that what she is tackling, what she is being challenged with to go through, to create the successes, she knows the success will be there. She knows that the success will arrive so long as she shows up and does the work. She gets very excited, very, everybody's like, what's going on with the Queen? Anyways, everybody wants to be a part of it. So if we follow this kind of energy for the weekend, we just kind of get excited about what we're doing, what we're creating, what we are inventing, what we are stepping into. Other people will just pick up on the energy and want to be a part of it. So when you find people around you, they don't even know that they're willing participants yet. And this might be the best way of utilizing that 31 energy that we start the weekend with on Friday, to allow other people to come to the table and show you their tools, their talents, their abilities, and how you can work together towards the successes that you truly want. There, I really feel like, I've kind of given you a little bit of guidance for the weekend now, because I just didn't want to leave you hanging, because I know we have such amazing energy up there. So if you want to cut out now, I love you and I understand. For those of you who are sticking around to hear what Tilly's been going through. Well, there was the website, getting that up. And if you've been to the website, you know that there was a lot of work. I was writing books. I was making journals. I was, pulling actually some meditations that I've done before, but just never released or brushed them up a bit or did new ones for you. In different ways. And I am going to, if you're looking at the books, the meditations, the journals, the coloring books, they're all priced at one price. And I'm going to have if you buy 3, you get them for this price kind of. But I have to wait for the webmaster to get me the code that you would need to put into the coupon box, right? But everything else is open, right? You can book the readings. You can go over and get the reports through the astrologers, and every report is amazing. I mean, just browse through. Go to the natal report one and just browse underneath all the different ones, because you'll see them all there that you can highlight each one. But down below is the description, and I tell you that I went and did the readings all because I wanted to know what I was giving you, and it's truly like, wow, it's really eye-opening. It's really, anyways, I can't go there right now. I've got way too much work to do, and I got to tell you what's going on. So there was that, which kind of, and I was doing the daily affirmations, and I love doing them, and they're all up, all 31 of them, but they took like forever to complete that 1 or 2 minute video. I couldn't believe the amount of different programs I had to use and bring it all together. And so that took a lot more energy and time away from when I would do other things for you guys, so that I could do things like the monthlies, because I'm trying to get a weekly in here, and I can't even get the monthlies out to you. So anyways, there was that. The fridge broke down and I needed a new stove. And so we had just gone grocery shopping too. We had just filled everything up. Oh, it was going to be so good, the meals for the next couple of weeks. They're now in a trash can. So I have to clean out the fridges. And you know that if you're pulling that fridge out, what do you got to do? Well, here's the real kicker is the kitchen is the room that I was going to renovate. I was going to renovate it and then I was going to buy the appliances that were hanging on for dear life anyways at that time. And this was going to be the year for renovating. So apparently they thought, "No, you're going to do it." So I have it coming and I'm going to temporarily set up the stove and the fridge in the dining room so that we can utilize it. Well, the stove we won't be able to utilize in the dining room because it needs a special plug because it's an electric. So I have to lay a new floor. I've got to paint the walls. I've got to do all this before I can put my fridge and stove in and have a kitchen again and be able to eat meals and all that stuff. So it's kind of important that I get that done as fast as humanly possible. So that moved up to my priority list. Now, I was amazingly happy. I went out. I shopped at like 3 or 4 different places within an hour and a half, I'll add, and there was a lot of driving involved, and check the price points out on everything and saw what was really out there and what was available. And I figure, I'm retired now, so this might be my last fridge and stove, so I didn't want to cheap out on myself either, right? Get something that's only going to last 4 or 5 years. So I wanted to get something that was well made, had a name brand on it. Anyways, I lucked right out. The gentleman who served me knew me, so he gave me an incredible deal. An incredible deal. An incredible deal. Did I say an incredible deal? And um he's gonna have them here tomorrow, which means I've got to get moving. So, I mean, it's going to stay in the dining room. They don't need to place them into, and they take everything away. He's got it so that was all good to go and taking everything away for me. So I don't have to worry about that. At the same time, I got a dumpster because I've had, since while I was watching my mom, I had a couple of floods in my basement and I couldn't get to it. So now I got to, that was really where I was going to start my renovations, was basement, and work my way through, right? Kitchen would be the next thing. But it's not happening that way for some reason. So I just ordered the dumpsters. So I've got a dumpster to fill because I only got it for a week. And it doesn't matter if I throw a piece of paper in there or fill it to the brim. It's the same charge. So I need to utilize this. So I'm also kind of doing that. So now I'm doing a lot of that. On top of it, my daughter took a dance class and she was performing, and because it was the class recital. And I know she's in her 30s, but she's my daughter. And whenever my kids are performing or doing something, if I could swing it, I was always there. Sometimes work interfered, but that was the only thing I would allow to interfere with not seeing my kids perform. So, and my kids, did a lot of that stuff because they knew mom would be there. They knew mom would be, and and it was just so wonderful. And she was so amazingly awesome, and everybody loved her. And I was called out for being there, but in a good way, And I wouldn't miss that for the world. So, but unfortunately, it started late, and then of course, then you have everybody's talking, and that seemed to go on for like an hour. And then my daughter says, "Oh, I'm so hungry now," because she was all nervous and worried performing, and it was a solo dance. Okay, and the really cool thing was the teacher watched all their dances. They could choreograph their own dance, and then she would watch each of their performances, and then she would put them in order and let them know when they were performing. And my daughter was the last, so I just knew she did good, and so that even made me more excited, which made her more nervous. And so she didn't eat. So I'm like, okay, okay, we'll go eat. And then we sat there, and it had been a long, exhausting day. So we all kind of, mellowed out at that table and talked about life and how great she was and my little rock star. And she, and by the time we decided that we should go to the train, they were locking the train station. What? I didn't know they did such a thing. I just thought the train station would always be open. But apparently not. Apparently the last train left like 10 minutes before we got there. So then we had to go to the bus place, and luckily enough there was a bus that was going, but there was a little bit of a wait involved. And I got home at like, I don't know, like 4:35 in the morning, because I drove halfway, then I took the train the rest of the way so that I could avoid a lot of the city driving, because I got enough 150 now, and it doesn't fit in small places that well. So just so I wouldn't have to worry about anything, parking and all that stuff, I take the train in and park at the train station. So I still had, another hour or so to drive home. Oh my gosh, I was so tired. I pulled over, I grabbed a coffee. The coffee was so hot, I burnt my tongue. So I couldn't even drink the coffee, but it woke me up. Um, and you say, oh my goodness, Telly, all this stuff is happening. And so I said, well, so what is the good, right? You have to look at what is the good. And so, especially with the fridge, like really, when I have all this other stuff on my plate, this is when the fridge breaks. And at first it might seem like, what, bad luck, right? Oh, this is horrible. But there's a couple of things. First of all, I'm planning a small vacation. It could have went then. Or I could go next Thursday at 10 o'clock at night, which means the potential of actually even talking to anybody seriously would have to wait till Tuesday, right? At least in my area, where we are, because of the extra closures and stuff like that. And of course, everything is limited staff because everybody's taking the long weekend, and you got people that, I started last week and I've had one shift, so how can I help you? And when you're buying a fridge and stove, you really want somebody who's been around for a while, so you want to make sure that the senior employees are there. So I don't know, that's just the way I shop. So I don't know how you shop, but if it's big, I don't go on the holiday weekend. They got the kids working, for goodness sakes. And they will learn in time and they'll be just as great, but they're not what I need at the time. So if I was just going in and asking questions, I would probably want the student. I'd want the young person or somebody that's just started in the job, so that I could pique their curiosity about, oh, I didn't know that, and I didn't think I would need to know that, and kind of, just be a training course for them, because we could both learn in that way, right? Because they'd be asking somebody else, and now we'd have a three-way conversation. And have you ever done that? Because it's just incredible when you do that, because you become the teacher and the student all wrapped up into one, and you can learn a lot in a very short period of time doing stuff like that. So if you're just bored one day, go into a store and pretend that you want to buy a lawnmower or a snowblower, or a canoe, or whatever it is, right? And just ask them questions and say, oh, I'm just browsing, I'm just window shopping, but out of curiosity, maybe you could answer a couple of questions for me. And go from there. Anyways, I have to get back to my extensive, I've got a big kitchen too. It's an old country kitchen style kitchen, so it's big. And I gotta wash the ceilings. I gotta wash the walls. I've got the fridge and the stove cleaned out. I did a little bit of the basement today too, so I could start filling everything, because I gotta fill it. And some of the stuff was kind of like big things that I would want to lay down. It's actually a big walk-in dumpster. I got a really good one, because I got all kinds of junk around here that has to go. So it's going. I apologize from the bottom of my heart that I'm not giving you the full reading. I'm not really tapping into the energy like I normally do. I did give you the Reader's Digest version. I do love you. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for being a part of my family. Thanks for showing up all the time. All the time. You guys absolutely rock. I made the website for you. Okay. And mainly I want to grow that blog for you, so that the information is there for you. But if you go on to the main page, just right down at the bottom, scroll to the bottom, and I got a really cool thing, and it shows you the exact time when you're looking at that. That is the astrological chart, and it usually has one of the transits kind of listed for you to kind of give you a hint of what the energy is at this very moment in your life collectively. So I will be back Monday, promise, cross my heart. And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.